loud and clear.
I can certainly add some volume, but we're going to have some peaks and valleys in terms
Oh, that
of
sounds better.
crowd noise.
All right, we'll just make sure we speak real clear.
That sounded Clint just sounded better that time.
Okay. And you know where your speaker is, right? So you're not
Yes,
covering that.
it's right here, and I'm holding this side, so.
Is this how close we're going to be?
Yeah, Keith, we're probably gonna have to be this close.
Probably you might get better audio if you go horizontal with the phone. That way you can have the mic more in front of him.
Yeah, is that better?
How about now? Test. So this is the big red.
Yeah, that sounds better. I would just stay as close to him as is comfortable and try to project.
Okay.
Okay.
If you sound good and John sounds good, it was just Clint that sounded a little bit faint.
Hey, and how much time are you expecting us to fill?
I can give you about 20 minutes.
That's probably 5 more minutes than we need. Can you make
Okay,
sure
well-
you're available in 15 minutes?
Yeah, you can certainly wrap up whenever you want. I'll be here.
Okay. All right. I thought you might take a potty break or something.
I probably will, but it'll be quick.
All right.
All right. Well, here we are. Giving Day Live marches on. 3:30 on the Eastern Daylight Saving Time. We're looking at about, what do we got here? 8.5 hours left of Giving Day 2016. And we are out to Bartels Hall to talk with our friends in Cornell Athletics about the recently opened Big Red Fueling Station. So I'll leave it up to the group up there to talk about what the Big Red Fueling Station is and who it supports and how you can support them. Take it away, guys.
Thanks very much. Hey, Keith. Appreciate your day. My name is John Webster. I'm the Director of Alumni Affairs and Development for Athletics. And I'm here this afternoon with Clint Wattenberg from the class of 2003. Clint is a 2002 Eastern champ at 184 pounds. He's a 2-time All-American. He was a member of the U.S. national team and is a member of the Big Red Athletics Hall of Fame. And Clint is Cornell's first ever coordinator of sports nutrition. He's got a master's in exercise physiology. He's a registered dietitian, a certified strength and conditioning coach, and pretty well qualified to serve in the capacity that you serve in, Clint.
It's all that experience that I'm trying to bring here to our student athletes.
Well, what has he really done?
Well, you know, as good a former athlete as he is, he may not be the best athlete in his family. His wife, Sarah, was a heptagonal champion, and she's a heck of an athlete, too. That's very true. All right, so, Clint, I've got a couple questions for you. We're here at the Big Red Fueling Station, but as a coordinator of sports nutrition, what does a coordinator of sports nutrition do?
Great question, John. And I could speak for probably an hour on this because my job and my job description and what I am able to do with our student athletes is so broad and diverse. I get to do really great things like at the Big Red Fueling Station here that hopefully we'll be able to meet some athletes later. But I get to help provide our student athletes education, information, and counseling around how to optimally fuel their performance. The really critical thing that I take out of that is not just sport performance. Absolutely, we're working with some very elite athletes and trying to achieve elite performances, but it's about elite performance on the court, on the mat, as well as in the classroom, and to support our student athletes to be the best student athletes that they can be across all disciplines. I get to do a lot of team education. I work with coaches, strength coaches, athletic trainers around injury prevention and in nutrition strategies to improve recovery from injury. And I do a lot of work on the wellness side to support our student athletes, not only through their entire athletic career, but also in terms of learning strategies to be healthy and happy on campus and then years to come in their professional, in their personal lives. long after they leave East Hill.
So Clint, how's it work? What's I mean, first of all, who picks what's available to our athletes, and then can anybody just come up and grab a Cliff Bar?
So the Big Red Fueling Station was a concept that I was able to bring to our athletic administration, and this is our first year bringing it to our student athletes. And all of the snacks that have been stocked in the Big Red Fueling Station, I've selected as performance snacks that can support our student athletes in some context in their training and recovery.
I think we need to come up with a better name than snacks. To me, snacks has negative connotations.
That's a great statement, and one of the most important things that I work with my student athletes about doing is nutrition timing and fueling with purpose. And performance snacks can be a really great thing, whereas snacking leads us to more of that mindless eating behavior. So snacks and performance snacks that we're matching our intake to our output are really vital to student athletes' performance, training, recovery, and overall growth throughout their season and their career. So snacks are a terrific part of the meal plan that I work with student athletes on. Snacking, which tends to be happening in the afternoon and evening after dinner, are not as ideal, and we work around meal timing and nutritional timing to prevent some of that mindless eating.
So along that same vein, one of your star products here is Big Red Refuel.
Absolutely.
Chocolate milk. Now, when I was a kid growing up, chocolate milk was kind of in the candy category. How can something that tastes so good be so good for you and so good for our athletes?
Well, that's a great point. Is not all of the snacks that you might find here at the Big Red Fueling Station we would consider health food. And it's not about healthiness, it's about nutrition. It's about nourishment for our body, nutritional quality. And so there are some processed foods that you'll find here because the body really responds to different nutrients at different parts of the training cycle. So pre-workout, our student athletes need starchy carbs to fuel the body for the energy they're about to burn. A little bit of protein to prime the muscles for recovery is also optimal. And then post-workout, the body is in a different nutritional status. The body is breaking down muscle, breaking down glycogen, and really on a catabolic pathway where you're breaking down the muscles and the energy that you really don't want to for too long, but you do it to get through that practice and that competition. So what is really valuable is changing the body from being catabolic to being anabolic, where it's repairing muscle and repairing energy that was broken down, is insulin. Insulin is not something that we think of as really vital to health because we think of what happens with insulin resistance and poor health as we age. But for an athlete who's training really intensely, insulin, which is a response to blood sugar, which is a response to carbs, sugar found in chocolate milk and Big Red Refuel, is vital for stimulating insulin, which is an anabolic hormone, right after you train. You have about 30 to 40 minutes to have this insulin spike to optimally recover from that training and to recover as completely as you possibly can for next day's training and competition. So without some sugar, without some carbs, without some protein, electrolytes, and hydration that you're going to find in a product like chocolate milk or even better Big Red Refuel that we formulated with our dairy half a mile away, you're not going to get complete recovery from your training. And so tomorrow's practice is going to be a little bit harder, and you're not going to be able to train as hard and recover as well for that practice. Is it okay to miss recovery once in a while? Sure. But having the Big Red Fueling Station, having our own specialty products allows our athletes to improve and get better through the periodization as we get to championship events, as opposed to slowly degrading over the season. And that's really what the Big Red Fueling Station is about on a high performance end, is supporting our student athletes' training efforts and then start recovery as soon as we can so they can be better fueled for not only practice tomorrow, but also getting to the review session tonight, getting a regular sleep pattern, waking up for tomorrow's morning class and morning practice so that we can have high performance in all areas of the student athlete life.
So Big Red Refuel. Tell us about the history of this product, and I've also heard some things about the herd the herd of cows that we get our milk from. They're treated pretty special, right?
Yeah.
I think they milk them once a week, and you can't make too much noise in the barn.
That's partially true. So the concept of Big Red Refuel came about, well, one step back is when I was hired as our first coordinator of sports nutrition 3 years ago. I reached out to our Cornell production manager at the Cornell Dairy about supporting our student athletes with chocolate milk post strength and conditioning. And that grew into a relationship where I was pitching ideas about the most delicious recovery beverage on the planet.
And it's good stuff.
That has turned out to be.
It's really good.
About a protein fortified chocolate milk to support recovery from higher intensity training. So low fat chocolate milk it's the gold standard in recovery nutrition because it is 3-to-1 carb to protein. It's tremendous for recovery after a wide spectrum of types of training. So the way we rate it is the ratio of carb to protein. So endurance athletics. So if our cross country runners or our swimmers or rowers go out and do some aerobic training for an hour and a half, 4-to-1 carb to protein to replace more energy, more of the glycogen stores is really ideal versus strength training where you're tearing your muscles down. So more fatigue, it's like fatigue versus sore. If you're fatiguing, higher carb to protein. If you're getting sore, more protein to carb, 2-to-1. Chocolate milk happens to be 3-to-1, so it's right in the middle. So it's a very diverse kind of opportunity around recovery. That being said, 2-to-1, which is closer to what our Big Red Refuel is, 16 grams of protein in the data on the bottom is really optimal for recovery from higher intensity training. So our athletes that are doing more interval training, more sprints, strength and conditioning, things that are going to tear the muscles down more. This is really so I was hoping to bring the concept to the dairy production manager, and we formulated this product, and they came back to me with about 3 or 4 iterations. We did taste testing, we did product testing, and we had to revise the recipe a little bit based on preferences, based on we created a little less of a sweet product, added some more medium carbohydrates, both for a taste profile, also to give a little bit more extended energy, and probably the most important is for gut absorption. If we have a variety of length of chain of the carbs, you get less GI distress in that rehydration period. So there's a lot of process and life science and food science that has gone into this to make it, quite honestly, the most delicious thing, most delicious beverage I've ever tasted. And it's, I would liken it to a melted fudgesicle is the closest taste that I can come up with.
Well, you guys hit it out of the park. This is really, really good. As a matter of fact, I was in Synapsis the other day, and I saw a kid drink one. And I don't know if you've ever seen the scene in Harry and Met Sally, but you'll know what I'm talking about. This kid's reaction to the product was very similar to the scene in Harry Met Sally. When anyway, so how about the athletes? How do the athletes respond to this service being provided to them, this amenity being provided to them?
Well, this is the athlete on campus. The response has been terrific. The student athletes are well aware of the impact of underfueling because they're the ones that have energy deficits and fatigue and illness and injury that they can tie back to their training and poor recovery. Fortunately, we get a huge amount of student athletes. We have 1,100 student athletes on our varsity teams, and we get some over the course of the academic year, we've gotten somewhere between 90 and 95% of them coming by at least once. And it's been an unbelievable response from our student athletes. Fortunately, we have some student athletes that are working and swinging by right now.
I think we have one right here. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm John Webster.
Emily Lyman.
Hey, Emily. What sport do you play?
I play softball.
You're a softball player. And where are you from?
I'm from Princeton, New Jersey.
We won't hold that against you.
I came here.
And what college are you?
I'm in Cal.
Yeah, in what year?
I'm a senior.
Senior.
Yep.
So you lived through a few seasons without the Big Red fueling station. What do you think of this new amenity that we've been able to provide our athletes?
I think it's absolutely awesome. It's definitely tough. We have practice at 4:20 usually, so kids coming from 4:10 class don't really have time to fuel before practice. And being able to stop by here and grab a quick snack has definitely helped tremendously.
So what will you be doing today? So it's 3:48 right now. When do you have practice?
We have practice at 4:20 today.
4:20?
Yep.
And so have you had your snack yet?
I got my snack ready to go. Feel nice and full.
What'd you get?
I had a honey stinger peanut butter bar and some pretzels.
Stinger peanut butter bar. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
And so you get two things?
2 things.
Two things. And how do they know you're an athlete?
We swipe our IDs. Sometimes we give your number. And they have their little iPad to see if we're in season or not.
Oh, so you got to be in season.
In season.
All right. Really appreciate you taking time to visit with us. I'm glad you're enjoying this new added benefit that we're able to provide, NCAA compliant. Whenever you hear the word benefit, that raises some red flags. Anyway, thanks for stopping
Thank
by.
you.
Appreciate the opportunity. And good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, Clint, let me ask you another question that I think some people might be interested in. So recently I was getting some nutrition advice from Clint about dieting. I told him I was on a diet. He said, "Oh, I don't like the sounds of that." And I said, "Well, it's really a cleanse." He said, "Oh, that's even worse." So why is it bad to diet?
So the language around dieting and good and bad and health really tough for anybody, right? A former athlete, especially our current athletes, to navigate. They have incredible demands around performing in their sport. They have academic demands. They have social demands as being part of not only student athletes, but just part of a college campus. And dieting and body focus can undermine all of their efforts. And when the outcome of weight loss or a specific body composition goal becomes the driving factor for why somebody is eating or exercising, it oftentimes is unrelated actually to performance. And by focusing on weight or body composition or body image, it can undermine all the performance that we're working towards. Everything that we talked about on the first half was about empowering better fueling, better recovery, never talking about weight or body. Because when that becomes a primary focus, it's very complicated in the psychological component as well, in terms of, am I eating for fitness or am I eating for performance? So healthy behaviors lead to healthy outcomes. Performance-focused behaviors lead to high performance outcomes, not the other way around. If we focus on weight or on outcomes, we oftentimes run the risk of undermining everything that we're working towards. And so not only do I work with my student athletes to navigate some of the really tricky language, a lot of the tricky messages that are coming in from all over our society, social media, family sometimes, coaches, teammates, and trying to really resolve some of these mixed messages to result in a performance message. And a lot of that is performance on the field, like we talked about, but working towards performance in the total health outcomes for a student athlete is really valuable as well. This can mean physical health, and that's something that we think about as we age. College students can usually care less about physical health unless they're injured. But injury, risk of injury, recovery, illness, that's something that we think about. But the psychological health of our student athletes is really vital too. This is a time where students are at very high risk for a lot of mental health struggles, and eating disorders is high on that list. Being an athlete actually puts them at even higher risk because of the focus on body or performance and putting extra focus on protecting the body. And so working with student athletes around controlling what we can, focusing on behaviors that will elicit positive outcomes, and not focusing on the body as a primary focus. So that's kind of the philosophy that's behind it. I'm working across campus, and this is one of my most exciting endeavors this semester moving into next. In focusing on wellness and redefining wellness, and working with a not-for-profit called The Body Positive to roll out and to adapt it for Body Positive Cornell, which will be a cross-campus initiative to support students and student athletes in this venue to prioritize health and wellness in ways that support us for being actually healthy and well. Because eating less is really just self-starvation if it's done without body focus.
I like that. Hey, Keith, how are we doing on time?
The clock has expired.
All right. Can you give me 2 more minutes?
Yeah, I'll give you 2 more minutes.
All right. Hey, Clint, thanks an awful lot. I really appreciate you taking the time to visit with us.
Thank you, everybody, for all your support. We couldn't do it without you.
Thanks, Clint. Hey, Keith, I was going to introduce you to one of our basketball players real quick.
Okay.
All right. Follow me.
The sound is awful.
He's not having a great hair day. David, you're live. It's part of Cornell Giving Day. And I just want to stop by and say hi. Do you use Big Red Fueling Station?
Yes, I do. I love it.
Yeah?
It's awesome. Yeah.
Makes a difference?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys got a new coach. What do you think?
I think we'll bring in some new energy. Pretty excited about that. It's new for all of us. I think we're just trying to take something, take a step forward. Take it with 2 hands and just go forward. So.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us. I wish you the best of luck next year, and you'll be ready.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Hey, Keith, thanks a lot. We appreciate the opportunity to share some of the stories from the athletic venues, and I'll send it back to Giving Day Central.
All right. Thanks, John, and everyone and Clint and everyone at Athletics. Again, having a great day on Cornell Giving Day, and just a lot of great support for the student athletes here at Cornell. And we hope that you'll continue to put your support behind that. A lot of talented, dedicated students, student athletes there. So we're going to jump out. We'll be back in about 4 minutes with, we'll go from athletics to mathematics with Professor Steve Strogatz. Looking forward to that. Be right back.